Welcome guys to my spoiler review for the new Amazon Prime TV series, Outer Range. So, Outer Range is this kind of combination of genres, a bit of a cowboys vs aliens situation, and they've gone, well, it's cowboys vs aliens, but it's dark and brooding. It's like if HBO did cowboys vs aliens, but it's Amazon Prime, and it's apparently their biggest new hot show. They're smashing genres together, and they're casting everybody. This has got Josh Brolin, famous for being, I don't know, all the characters he plays as Josh Brolin. Amazing actor, and he totally works for this cowboy, just grizzled old man, grandpa, who is like, oh boys, you're gonna get back to work. And you know, when he's talking about cows and cattle and he's, you know, doing the lasso, macho, masculine man thingy, you know, riding the horse, I buy it. I totally buy it. Like, he could just stand there looking like he does with a cowboy hat on a horse. I'm like, well, I buy it. He doesn't even need to act. He doesn't even need to act. And then when he's like doing all the acting with his face, I'm like, oh boy, we are in for a treat. And I love it so far. It's so cool to like have this like, I mean, it's not aliens, but it's got a sci-fi, cosmic, Lovecraftian kind of vibe. And then on the other end, it's just like a sad drama western kind of setting where everyone's like, oh, we're sad. One of the kids, his, you know, wife has gone missing. Maybe she's missing in the void, or maybe she just like ran away and she's like, I don't like this cowboy life. And it's got that sad kind of, you know, moody atmosphere of just like a drama set on a farm with a western setting, and everyone's got a cowboy hat and they're all like y'all, and you know, they've just got that vibe, that's Americana vibe from that, you know, that area wherever the hell it's set. And then, you know, you've got scenes where Josh Brolin is standing over this giant whole void, cosmic, Lovecraftian, whatever the hell is going on sci-fi thing. And I love this insane kind of blend of everything and the way it's just kind of like, you know, it's contrasted between the two genres, and at times they're just smashing into each other. And you've got the Western cowboy looking at this void being like, I gotta throw a rock, see how deep this hole is. And then like he hears nothing and he's like, okay, well, I guess my next step will be to just try and fill it. The funniest moment of the first two episodes is him just getting that shovel and just like, I can fill this hole. And like pretty quickly, he realizes that I am laughing at him, not with him, and he stops. So before I start talking voids and punching men to death and all the things that this show is doing, I wanted to just speak about the cast. The cast is immaculate. It is like a shock to me. I never check out Prime Video, I mean, very rarely. It's kind of my least favorite of my 25 different streaming services. I'm never like, oh, what's on Prime Video today? I'm always checking out the other ones. But someone in my comments was like, are you watching Outer Range? I'm like, I have no idea what that is. I don't even check Prime Video. And so for a show that I had heard literally nothing about, the fact that this cast is the cast that it is just shocked and wowed and amazed me. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. We've got Josh Brolin as Big Papa Dad. We've got Lily Taylor of 6 Feet Under fame. You know, she was that character that was sad all the time. I told my brother that, and he's like, this character? I'm like, no, not that one. He's like, this one? And I'm like, no, not that one. The other one that's sad. So I guess that's not very descriptive, but that's how I remember her. She was very, very sad, a lot of the time. And last but not least, with the big trio of famous actors that I just couldn't believe were all on a show together, is Tom Pelphrey. He is now becoming one of my gotta see what he's in. Gotta see what he's doing, because he is just exceptional. Since his time on Ozark, I'm just like, the man can do no wrong. He's the best part of Ozark. He's one of the best parts of Banshee, although Banshee has so many good parts, it's hard to, you know, but he's very, very good, and I just love his just way he performs. He's so emotional. He's so raw. There's so much pain in his performance. And this is no different. He gets some really dark, intense stuff straight off the bat. And I mean, this is my spoiler review, so I'm getting into spoilers. That scene at the end of the first episode, when he's just like, he snaps and, you know, the evil neighboring boys from the ranch next door. I love how there's just like, we've got a ranch next door and they're bad guys and we hate them and we're going to fight and punchy punch. But then it just escalates like out of nowhere. Like that first bit where they're all riding horses and the other ones are all on quad bikes. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Symbolism or whatever, metaphors or whatever. I see the difference between these two ranch boy peoples, you know, the two different families, and I get the whole vibe. They have a little conversation. I'm like, okay, see how this is gonna brew all season. But no, like 15 minutes later, Tom's just like beating the absolute shit out of him, and then because the guy mentioned his wife's gone missing, he's mocking him and just being an absolute prick, he just lays into him. But then he kills him. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, this show has escalated very, very quickly. But then I suddenly realized, I'm like, they're going to get rid of the body. How are they going to get rid of the body? Gonna chuck it into the bloody void, mate. Just get into that big black void and chuck it into that sci-fi, Lovecraftian, wherever the hell. Who cares where it is? Just bloody chuck it in there, mate. Oh my god. For some reason, I just got so excited when I realized they're already in episode 1 just dumping dead bodies they've accidentally killed just in the void. Like, shit is going to lose its mind in this show if this is the pace it's going to keep up. Before I forget and get all lost in the insanity and all my, questions and theories and speculation on the void and what is the void? It's a big black hole, what is it? Just gotta talk about evil enemy, he's the Josh Brolin for the other family, Will Patton. He's awesome. I always forget what I've seen him in. I feel like he just pops up with little, he's often like a cowboy or grizzly kind of, I'm in the army or, something like that. I think the only show I've seen him like as a big main like leading role is in Falling Skies, which I inexplicably watched every single episode of. I feel like I watched it like weekly, like the day it came out. I don't know. I watch a lot of stuff. I don't even know if I liked it, but then I'm saying that I'm like, well, I watched every single episode of like 5 or 6 seasons. I don't know. Check it out if you like sci-fi, family, I don't know, like a bit of a Spielbergian vibe, but like a TV show or whatever. And there's aliens, let's shoot them in the face or whatever. And then they're all like, let's hug, we're a family. Or something. I barely remember. It must have been a good show because I'm literally going, I love this guy because of this show. He feels like an actor that's probably in like 3 or 4 episodes of The Walking Dead. Like, I don't know, he's like that guy. He's just like popping up and I'm like, ooh, I'm here. Ooh, I'm here. He's probably in a couple of episodes of Justified. But he's amazing in this. He gets a speech in one of them where he's just like, ooh, I'm just hungry. Ooh, I'm just hungry. Why do I want your farm? Ooh, because I just want your farm. Ooh, I'm an evil bad guy. And I'm just like, this is an insane speech from an insane man, and I love this character, and I love this performer. I'm just loving what's going on. I love the idea of 2 families, and we're gonna fight for our land against this other family who wants to take it, but does he want to take it because the void's on their land? The void! What's going on with the void? So at first, we get like a little peek inside the void, and he puts his hand in, and he's all like, and he's like got all black stuff all over his hands, and it slowly fades back into his body, like, I don't know, like it felt like ink kind of sinking back into his skin. Or I don't know, maybe evil voodoo juices of sci-fi-ness. You don't know at that point, but he gets like a flash forward for like the future, like a little glimpse. But then he gets all like these children flashes, and I'm like, are those his kids from like, when they were younger, like kids when they were kids? Like, so is he getting flash forwards and flashbacks? Is there going to be some kind of time travel situation going? And then, at the end of the second episode, we've got the hitchhiker lady who's like, I've been drawn to this place. Oh, I'm just a poet. Oh, I just want to land here. But I was like, I know something sus. She knows something about the void. She looks like she's, she's, I don't know, like past experiences with the void. And then at the end of the episode, she's all like, oh, I pushed you into, also, just the end of the first episode where she's just like, push. And at that point, I'm like, oh, boo, you're going to kill Josh Brolin, like, right off the bat? Like, he's like the main draw for me at this point. I mean, Tom Pelphrey's very, very good, but Josh Brolin's character at this point is like way more exciting, just the way he talks. I'm like, I want to see this cowboy man look at the void and scream and be like, why are you here, void? Rah! I don't like you, God. Amen. All that stuff that was doing, he was doing. I loved it. I loved it all. So the start of the second episode where he's just like lying in the field and he came back, I'm like, ha, ha, ha. Thank God. I had so many questions about this. I'm like, did the body come back but it landed somewhere they didn't know? Is it just, did he come back because he's the chosen one? He's like a Harry Potter of this universe. Or like, what's going on? Why did he come back? I had so many thoughts and theories and I'm like, oh, it's going to be so annoying thinking about this all season till we get to the finale and we find out what's going on with the void. But then, no, Mrs. Hitchhiker Lady's like, I didn't mean to kill you when I pushed you. Oh, I don't remember things when I was 9 either, just like you, but now I do. Now I'm back. Now I'm seeing signs everywhere and she's drawn to this place. She's drawn to this ranch and all this, crazy cosmic babbly goo, and they're building and building and she's like, tell me, what did you see? And I could just tell that is a man who is not going to tell you, lady. Like, I'm sorry, he's not going to tell you. He's not going to tell the audience. No one's going to find out to the finale. And then literally, as I was thinking that, it like cut to him and he's like, oh, I'm falling into the void. And then he comes out the other side of the void and we see what's going on. Like, it's completely insane and it doesn't really explain anything, but it shows and just kind of reveals without telling what's going on so much. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, is this why they did 2 at a time? But they're doing 2 at a time. Like, they're doing 2, then they're releasing 2 again. Like, usually if you have like a big reveal like this and you're like, oh, we want to get people in, but we didn't put this in the first episode, which, I don't know, maybe you could have, no. But you release 2 episodes, you get the hook with that second finale episode where just that big shocking cliffhanger of like, oh my God, this is what's in the void. And then you'd have it weekly. But they're doing like 2 every week. So I don't know, do they only have like 4 weeks of like scheduling to fit them in? I don't know. Very, very interesting to me. It's a weird mix of that kind of Netflix binge situation where it's like, give it it to them all right now, and they'll binge it, and they'll just gobble it up. And then that, the classic weekly, savor it, enjoy enjoy your meal. Kind of, it's a weird blend of them. Why am I getting caught up with that? It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. And so inside the void, he falls out through the void, and he's in this different dimension or a multiverse. Why is there so much multiverse stuff going on right now? And it was just okay, has he time traveled? Has he gone to a different planet? Has he gone to a different reality? There are so many questions. Everyone's just there. There's drilling and oil and stuff. And it's is this outlandish? She's not anymore. And I'm okay, so this is the future. And then she's you died 2 years ago. And I'm no, but he didn't die 2 years ago. Did he maybe in this universe come through the hole and die? Or not? And just, it's all kind of topsy-turvy. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, so this is kind of maybe in the future. Because he put his hands in and he was all wobbity, future. For a little bit, a little snapshot as he put his hand in. So to dive all the way in, you're diving into the future. And so in the future, they've lost the land. There's oil and stuff going on. There's all mechanical shit everywhere. And everyone's standing around. So it's a big it's a big affair, this void situation. Everyone's aware of it at this point, and the whole family's there, but he's died. So, I don't know. It's just, I think that's what's happening. I would really, really love to know what everyone's thoughts, theories, speculations, what are y'all thinking's going on with the void? Because on one hand, I feel it's too early to be screaming, this is what the void is, and, getting all up in arms and being okay, well, I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. Because I feel they've presented it in a way where it's going to be okay, well, it seems like it's this, but surely there's a lot more to kind of explain and reveal, and we're going to kind of get a clearer idea of it later, and this is just a little tease. Or do people think that now we're going to get kind of, both universes, both alternate dimension universes, parallel universes? My first thought was this is just a little sneak peek to be that's what's inside the void, don't go inside the void, and that'll kind of not be seen again. But I would love to just see both universes or parallel dimensions or whatever the hell is going on, multiverse, whatever the hell, time travel, future, if it's just the future or whatever it is, and we see both timelines kind of progressing at the same time. We keep cutting back to each family, but I don't know, it just absolutely blew my mind. The whole scene just building up, seeing all the things, Josh Brolin just be what's going on, oh my god, and just being I can't believe they're revealing so much, this is crazy, but also what is actually happening. And his wife comes up and she's you've been dead 2 years, run, and then he gets shot in the leg and he's running back and he just dives back into the hole. Just crazy. Honestly, just such a crazy big moment. I felt the show was kind of going to be this slow burn. This show that kind of slowly stews and marinates and slowly drip feeds, being ooh, maybe the void's this, maybe the void's that, but we'll never tell you. And then the second episode's here it is! This is the void! It got the people! It's are they clones? They're probably not clones. That's probably the last thing they are. But maybe they're clones! We don't know! Overall, an amazing first 2 episodes. I love all the cowboy stuff with the riding bulls, and he's don't give up your bull riding, you're a classic cowboy man. And we've got all our rivalries and cowboyness, but then the big sci-fi void thingy going on, and I just love that blend mix, or more just grabbing 2 genres and just being smash! Absolutely loving it. So much fun so far. I'd love to know what people think, especially in terms of just theory, speculation, just all those kind of ideas. What the hell is this sci-fi premise? What's going on? I want to hear detailed, crazy, insane theories. I live for crazy, insane fan theories. Give them to me, I beg of thee. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below. I would love to know what everyone thinks. Thoughts, theories, speculations. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think?